Thank you. Let this wait a long time. Takes me this long.
Okay, everybody want to say hi again?
Hello.
You have to see your head, Adam. It doesn't start like that. Okay, so you've decided to get your first tattoo. Congratulations. But you need to pick a style. Tattoo is something that's going to live with you forever, and you need something that you're going to be comfortable and happy with for the rest of your life. I lean towards traditional tattoos. I like the limited color palette and the solid lines and the staying power. So I lean towards those, or neo-traditional, which is a broader span of traditional. My fiance does all black work. He likes the staying power that black has versus color. So the first thing you want to do is find a style that you like and that you're happy with. The first style is going to be traditional. Traditional was brought over in the 1700s with sailors under Captain James Cook, and it was refined by artists like Sailor Jerry, who led it into slash designs, which are simple, fast designs that just hang on a wall of the studio. You go in, pick one out, they slap it on you less than 45 minutes. That's a flash tattoo. According to Cloak and Dagger, tattoo parlor flash tattoos were introduced because of the high demand that traditional tattoos started getting. It just, somebody wanted a tattoo, they didn't know what they wanted, look at the wall. And that's where flash tattoos came from. The second type is going to be realism. Realism can be black and white, or it can be full color, but it has to have photo line quality. It needs to look like somebody took a picture and pasted it to your arm, or your leg, or wherever you want to have it done. According to Tattoo Do, realism only became popular in the late 20th century as tattoo methods refined and things of that nature. The next type is going to be watercolor. Currently, watercolor is one of the most popular styles, and when you think of watercolor and you think of watercolor paintings, they're really easy. It's really hard to mess up a watercolor tattoo or painting because you can just add more to it. You can mix your colors right there on the canvas. A watercolor tattoo, you have to lay in a good black base to be able to have the staying power of your colors. A lot of watercolor tattoos don't have outlines, so if they don't have that staying power and things start disappearing, you're not going to have any idea what this tattoo is 20 years down the road. According to Authority Tattoo, it is growing in popularity, but there's fewer artists that have the ability to do good, fine watercolor tattoos. The next one is going to be tribal. Tribal is made up from a bunch of different tribes and ethnicities. Polynesian, Marquesan, and Inupiaq are the most popular. Tribal tattoos look like a bunch of patterns, but they all have meaning behind them. And as you start looking into the patterns, you'll see different things, different masks, weapons, things of that nature. According to the research, tribal tattoos started out as a way to tell what tribe you came from. If you were a doctor, if you were a medicine man, if you were a fisherman or a hunter or a warrior. So you knew who was okay to talk to and who you should stay away from. You know, you don't want to walk up thinking you're talking to a medicine man and it's somebody who's going to make your head sick. New School was really popular in the 80s and 90s and came to popularity because of graffiti artists. It's exaggerated features, lots of color. There's a lot of leeway in New School tattoos. According to Rebel Circus, the freedom in styling and technique is why a lot of artists like New School. They don't have to follow certain rules of other tattoo types. They can take parts of a Japanese tattoo and a traditional and throw them together, and as long as you say New School, you're not breaking any of the rules of the others because now you've created a different type of tattoo. Neo-traditional is an evolution of traditional. It's basically giving you a wider color palette and a little bit more freedom on your design. Instead of having to be a flat 2D design with just a few colors and real heavy lines, you still keep your line texture. You can have different weights, but you can do different color schemes. You can have 2 or 3 different shades of green instead of one. You can have red, orange, and yellow instead of just orange. Things of that nature. According to Inked Magazine, neo-traditional keeps those color lines but gives the artist license. The next is going to be Japanese. Japanese tells a story. It's a lot of samurais, Kirkin masks, mythological creatures, dragons, phoenixes, and things of that nature. According to Rebel Circus, they're very limited on where they can put tattoos. You can't put a Buddha below the waist. A koi fish swimming upstream means something completely different than downstream. The flowers you use with a Buddha, you can't use with the koi fish because they have 2 different meanings. And the final is going to be black work. Black work is a very broad category. You can have black work in almost any type of tattoo style. You just can't use any color. Black work is simply that. It is solely black ink. Tattooists that believe less is more really like to work with black ink because they don't have to worry about punching in color and shading and things of that nature. So once you've decided on the type of tattoo you want and the style you want, you can pick your shop. You want to make sure you're comfortable with your artist. You want to make sure you're comfortable with your design because you are living with this forever. If your artist draws something and it's not something you like, you can always change that, but you always have to do it before the tattoo goes on skin. So with that being said, I do have a poster board that I can show you some different pictures of different types of the different designs. This shows the watercolor with and without outline. So when your color starts disappearing, you're not going to know what it is if your black ink isn't laid in. Traditional has the limited color palettes, only a few colors, green, blue, red, and orange. Whereas your neo-traditional has several different greens, several different blues, several different reds. So these are the 8 main styles of tattooing that you have to choose from.